Welcome to my typography final project presentation. The first thing I'll be talking about is how I made the template of my font to display it. So I had used the grids in Adobe to help with the alignment and placing. And so the capital letters without descenders are 3 grids by 3 grids, and then capital letters with descenders are 3 grids by 4 grids. And then lower cases without descenders and without ascenders are 2 grid by 2 grid. And then lowercase with descenders are 2 grid by 3 grid. And then lower cases with ascenders are 2 grid by 4 grid. Each letter has 1 grid box space in between for the spacing of each letter and in between the sections of the letters, like a capital A and a capital or lowercase a would be separated from a capital B and a lowercase b. And then I had added a border onto my font because Amber had said it seemed classy/elegant, and so it made me think of looking up ways to incorporate that, and this is how I did it. Wanted to talk about the qualities that make up a font because last semester I didn't really understand how all of these things are incorporated, but now I completely understand, and I think I have improved a lot. So first I'll be talking about my terminals. So in all of my capital letters and my lowercase I, M, N, T, and X have hook swatches. So they have a swash, but at the end, instead of it being rounded, it is hooked. My lowercase b, d, f, h, k, and l have loops at the very end, where they loop to connect into the other form of the letter. Lowercase r and y are serifs, and then lowercase a, c, e, g, j, o, p, q, s, u, v, w, and z have Fresnel terminals. My font didn't really have an angle of stress except for certain characters. For example, capital P, Q, J, and I have a slight stress of angle. It's slightly angled to the right a bit. And then the rest of the letters have none. My font had very slight contrast except for the bold. The bold had a more medium contrast and the regular had light. And so all my capital letters and my lowercase h, I, l, m, n, r, t, w, x, the exclamation point, and the question mark have contrast in their terminals. The comma has a spiral shaped contrast, so there's like a spiral of positive and negative space. Lowercase a, b, c, D, E, O, P, K, and the @ sign have contrast on one side of their bowl. Lowercase f, G, J, Q, and Z have contrast in loops of descenders. And then lowercase v has a contrast in the arm. Lowercase s and the and symbol have contrast in the spine. And then lowercase u and y I was a little confused about, but I'm pretty sure it is the sloped part of the bowl. I wasn't sure what to call that little slope. I explained a little bit of my proportions in the beginning, but I'm going to get into more depth. So the X height is about the half of the height of the capital letter, which with the grid is 2 blocks. And then the set width for capital letters are more wide and for lowercase are a little bit more narrow. The positive and negative space in regular font is less and more negative space. And then in the bold, it has more positive space and a slightly less negative space. Looking at my font in the beginning, I did not realize that there were any additional features until I figured out what they were. And so my additional features are hooked terminals on capital letters and lowercase I, M, N, T, and X. And then I also have loops on some characters, for example, capital A, C, D, E, L, Q, S, Y, and lowercase B, D, F, H, K, L, O, Q, R, S, and Y. And then only 2 characters have a spiral, which are the comma and the and symbol. And that is the end of my presentation. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you guys have a good winter break, and I will see you next semester.